Glad you're streaming with us. Well, Michael Cohen returning to the witness stand just minutes ago in Donald Trump's hush money trial. It's expected to be a feisty cross-examination from Trump's legal team, too. Inside the courtroom, though, a slew of former president's political allies publicly slamming the trial as a sham. One of those supporters who is alongside the former president today, potential VP pick, Florida Congressman Byron Donalds. He joins us from outside the courthouse. Good to see you, sir.
Good to be with you. Thanks for having me on.
So, Congressman, let me ask you, why do you want to be by Trump's side today?
Well, first of all, it's to demonstrate support for President Trump having to deal with this foolishness that's happening in New York City today that's been going on for the last 4 weeks. Number two, this is a travesty of the justice system. There's still no underlying crime that's actually been revealed. And Michael Cohen, the star witness for the prosecution, they just finished with him. They're not calling any more witnesses for the prosecution. And so now you have a situation where they took him 4 weeks. There is no underlying crime that they've been able to establish. So, of course, I'm going to stand with President Trump. And quite frankly, regardless of your politics, everybody should be standing against a misuse of the justice system for political purposes. That is what's happening in New York.
Well, let me ask you, Congressman, do you think Trump should take the stand?
Quite frankly, that's something for his legal team. I'm not going to answer that because they're going to make that rationale with President Trump. It's not about him taking the stand. It's about looking at the evidence, or frankly, the evidence that does not exist that the prosecution has brought here in New York City. You got Matthew Colangelo, the number 3 guy, who was the number 3 guy at Main Justice. He comes down to be on the prosecuting line for Alvin Bragg. That demonstrates the coordination between Main Justice, the Democrat Party, the White House, and unfortunately the court system in New York just to get Donald Trump. That is un-American. We are better than that. This is not about people's personal feelings or political feelings. It's about the system of justice.
Well, let me ask you about the politics, because I think the jury will decide what happens in that courtroom as the recordings, the documents, and the testimony will all speak for itself. But you, along with J.D. Vance, Rick Scott, Tommy Tuberville, now House Speaker Mike Johnson, all of you have been to the trial now. Why is sitting in a New York courtroom with Trump your priority versus hammering out business up on the Hill?
My priority, which is what I was elected to do, which I swore an oath to, was to protect the United States and the United States Constitution. So when you have a situation where justice is being misused for political purposes, in my view, you do have members of Congress and other members who are involved in our politics who have a responsibility to stand in opposition to that. I mean, take Judge Marchand, for example. His daughter is a Democrat operative. His daughter is going to make millions of dollars this election cycle fundraising for Democrats, and she's using the images and the likenesses of this trial to help her fundraise. That's a joke. That's a travesty. So this is bigger than just a job on Capitol Hill. It's what's happening right now in New York City. And I will add, I'm not under a gag order, so I'm going to tell the truth.
I understand that, but Congressman, let's be real here. The former president is using this courtroom, is using this case to raise money as well. He brought in a big $1 billion donor the other day. He's got commercials out there. He's putting things out on Truth Social. He is using this as a campaign fundraiser and rally cry every single day. He comes out to the cameras and he talks politics to reporters every single day when he comes out of the courtroom. So that's a little unfair when you're saying this is all political when the former president is taking advantage of this entire situation to turn it into a campaign event.
Let's not use fair or unfair, because last time I checked, Donald Trump is the one that was indicted on ridiculous trumped-up charges. And yes, the pun is intended. That's number one. Number two, Judge Marchand put him under an unconstitutional gag order. Not just President Trump, his entire campaign team. You have the media, you have witnesses in this case who are out there talking day and night against Donald Trump. He cannot respond. His campaign team cannot respond. So we're going to respond for him.
But an appeals court upheld that gag order today.
If anybody is playing politics, it is the radical left, it is Alvin Bragg, it is Judge Marchand, and it is the political coordination of using our justice system to attack a political rival.
Stay tuned. Congressman Byron Donalds, appreciate you coming to the camera.
Anytime. Thank you.